Hello, hello, listeners, and welcome back to another exciting, enthralling, and always hilarious edition of the Dual Screens podcast. I'm your host, Andy Asimakis. Once again, flying solo. We were jam-packed last week with 3 hosts and 1 guest, and now it's back down to little old me. But it's okay. I'll carry the day like I usually do. And joining me this week is Gregor Ebert. I think I butchered that name a little bit, but he is the PR manager for Headup Games, publisher of Pumpkin Jack, Bridge Constructor Portal, and The Walking Dead. The Coma 2, and just countless other games. Gregor, welcome to the show. How's it going, buddy?
Hi, I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And I'm very excited about answering your questions. So let's see. Actually, I'm sitting in Cologne, by the way. Our company is in Düren. That's near to Cologne in Germany. But I'm at my girlfriend's place this Saturday, and so I'm sitting here now.
You know, we've had very few developer guests that come from Germany. We've had the developer for Crosscode on the show before. And it seems like it's a very small market, the game industry, Germany as a whole. But we'll get into that in a little while. But for those of you who are new to the show, like Gregor here, this is, of course, the Dual Screens podcast. This is the world's #1 indie developer interview podcast ever, maybe.
And it's a pleasure to be on it.
Actually. Yes. And also, I'm a little mad at you because you were like, your English not so good via email, but you sound amazing to me. I've had guests who've had like I've had guests that've had like a translator like on standby just in case they can't get a word or two. But you're doing just fine. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You sound like you talk better than I do sometimes.
Yeah, let's wait. But right now, I think it's okay. Yes, everything should be okay. What I'm talking, and everybody should be able to understand it. Actually,
so we're used to getting. We'll just dive right in here. We're used to getting a lot of guests on the show who are talking about the development side of things. You know, how a game goes from a concept to a hobby to an actual full-fledged game. Now it's a real thing. I got to do a Kickstarter. I got to get funding. I got to find a publisher. But this is a unique one because you are on the other side. You're on the PR side of a publishing company. And you've done PR for some of my most favorite games. Recently, Pumpkin Jack, Coma 2, which I love, Cult Canyon. And I think the first thing I want to ask you is, what is your response as a PR person to what's going on right now with CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk? First of all, do you feel, thank God that's not my game?
Yeah, actually, I'm quite happy to be not in that position right now because it must be really heavy. Actually, I'm playing the game myself on my PS5, and with nearly every breaking or what is it, shutdown of the game, there's the possibility to send a error message to Sony, and I'm bombarding them with them.
Yeah, to be like, buddy, just do the refund. Just refund. Yeah. We'll pay you to refund the game.
I know, but I don't want to. The game is great, so that's not the case. But it's really buggy. So it's totally regardless where you are looking at, you will find some bugs.
Let's say
this will be a hard ride for them actually, but they did their money, and I think they will be in the discussions for a long time from now. And this is another good thing. I thought about it, of course, because they will be in the news for months, I think, because they will tweak things and will things get better, and they will be in daily news, I think. And that's a good thing, and of course it's a bad thing as well. But
well, they say that how would that saying go about press? All press is good press, or even bad press is good press. I don't know how I don't know quotes. I don't know things.
It
But
depends. It depends.
right, or no such thing as bad press. That's how the quote goes. My
Yes.
brain finally turned on. Uh, so I want to ask you, as like a PR manager, let's say you're in this position. Like, how do you even tackle this? Like, what's your first point of attack? How do you damage control a situation where you go from one of the good guy of gaming, right? The best developer, publisher, that
Mhm.
I will release things for free. It's all going to be great. We're your best friends. And then you come out and you have a massive chunk of your audience can't play your game. How do you handle that as a PR manager? What would you have done? What do you do?
Actually, I think they don't talk too much about it, and I think that's a good thing
Mm-hmm.
to just wait
Just
and see
ignore
what
it.
happens. Just ignore it for at least for a little time. But of course, they will put out an statement about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they had already. But I would be quite quiet actually and wait for my developers to get things sorted, and
Mm-hmm.
then perhaps talk to the masses again and say, oh, look here, it's much better now. So try to get it from the positive side. um, I don't know what I would do. Perhaps I would, I don't know, quit my job or whatever. I don't know, but it must be really hard to be in that position and
Yeah.
have to think about how to sort things now, because it's really, really bad, and bad marketing and bad PR for especially. But on the other side, as I said, it is PR, and they will be in the news for weeks and months, and that's not so bad at all. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that that was on purpose. It wasn't, definitely.
Oh no, no one
Uh,
wants that.
no, no, no.
Nobody wants that.
But actually, there may be guys out there who would take this as an opportunity to be on the news every day, and this is not too bad at all. So yeah, for
Yeah.
a small indie developer, indie publisher like we are, it's often difficult to get in the news or on the news at all. So if you're in the news every day, that's not too bad. And from the big sites as well, it's not only a few sites who are talking, but all the big
Yeah,
ones.
but I don't think you want to get in the news this way.
Yeah, that's right. And
Oh
even
boy.
if Sony put it down now from the stores, that's
Yeah, and then we
really
have Microsoft offering just
incredible.
blanket refunds. Like, it's unheard of how
Yeah.
we've seen buggy games before, like Fallout 76. We've
Yes.
been through, any Bethesda game actually we can mention, but we've had games that release with bugs. It's we live in an age where we can patch things out if we need to day one. We accept it, we understand it. But to have a game that's just so it's borderline unplayable. It's like this has to come off our storefront. We can't
Yeah.
let people buy this thing. It's like it's ridiculous.
But the hype was so huge that
Yeah.
it doesn't matter too much, because everybody who can afford the game will try to play it, and perhaps it will be even more worth now to play it on PS4 or PS5, because
Mhm.
it's gone down. So like what was this demo, PT demo? You can buy PS4s for several thousand dollars now for getting one with a PT on it, which is
Oh
completely
my god.
nonsense, but
Yeah.
it's the case. So
If I'm
perhaps
ever
it will
that much
happen with.
strapped for cash, I can sell my PS4 with my PT pre-installed on it. I'm just mad that I have to basically hold on to my PS4 because I can't get PT on my PS5. Freaking
Yeah,
Konami.
right.
So ridiculous.
But I mean, it's a 10 minutes or 20 minutes game. So after
Right.
that, you're through and won't touch it again for months. So
See, now that is a genius PR move right there. Whoever
yeah.
thought of that campaign. See, that's lessons to learn from your end. So let's dive into a little bit about what you do and what games you're working on and what's up with Headup Games. So
Mhm.
Pumpkin Jack, I think, was the first game that really introduced me because I've been playing Headup Games for a long time,
Mhm.
Coma and so forth, but I never knew that they were your games until I saw Pumpkin Jack.
Damn it!
Last,
I did
last I
something
know.
wrong.
Well, I'm all about the game and the developer. Like me, publisher, it's unless you're like one of the big boys, it's hard to really put them in
Yeah.
your brain, like in that catalog of publishers. But
Yeah, I know.
that changed now for me because now I know shit. Pumpkin Jack, it was an amazing game, and Headup Games, which has a nice little cool like Moai statue logo going on. That's their thing. That's part of my. It's in there now forever. So I want to talk to you about like, first of all, give us the PR sales pitch for what Pumpkin Jack is, and then we'll go into what was it about this game that made you guys say we want this as part of our library? We want this as a head up publication. So
Well,
first,
we saw it, and one of my colleagues brought it from, I think, from one trade fair or something, and
mm,
yeah, and we have our meetings all yeah, several in this time span of several months. We have some acquise meetings. I don't know what the word in English actually. So we check and talk about the game that our guys, we have I think 3 guys mostly, they who check out now new games, and they filter, of course, because we have many requests every week, and from developers, of course. And yeah, we saw that game and all played it a bit, and nearly everybody was quite confident with signing that. And then we went to the developers and yeah, made a contract about it. And from that point on, as usual, you will start to, they have to finish the game first at all, and then you start with polishing the game and porting it to other devices and stuff like that. And usually we port games by ourselves, but this was on Unreal Engine. So the developer did it by himself with a colleague. But the main game and all the ideas and the assets and whatever was all done by one person.
mm-hmm,
And that was another reason for us, because it looked so great. And of course, you always think about how can I market something. And when such a great looking game is made by one guy alone, you have a great possibility to go out and say, look at this is made by one guy. And yeah, and this was the case here. In general, Pumpkin Jack is a third person platformer. So if you like the older games like what is it, Ratchet and Clank,
mm-hmm.
and I can't think about them right now, but
I mean, it gave me like a
there's,
lot of medieval vibes
yeah,
when I played
medieval,
this
yeah,
game.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. And there are several great older games from the 90s actually, and 20s.
Oh yeah, like Crash
Oh,
Bandicoot, Banjo Kazooie, any
right.
kind of 3D platformer. Like,
Yeah.
I think what you were saying to your point, it's like when I first saw this game, first I loved the art style, that gothic horror kind of vibe to it, how you're playing as one of Satan's minions.
Yeah.
And then as we're playing the demo, you're like, "Oh yeah, this is a one man team."
Hmm.
And I was like,
What?
excuse me, like this, because we come across stories where it's a 1 or 2 person team, but the level of detail, I mean, for it's a first, it's usually a 2D sprite driven game,
Hmm.
which pixel art is hard to do. Sprites are really hard to get
Yeah.
detail on, and to animate's a lot of work, but to see this fully realized fleshed out 3D world
Hmm.
and these great animations and assets, it's like
Absolutely.
one guy did this.
Yeah.
It looks
And
better
he,
than like what a Banjo Kazooie was, or a Medieval back, which had huge teams that were not
yeah.
huge but
Yeah.
bigger than one person working on them.
Right.
I
Yeah.
was just blown away.
He has a great feeling for atmosphere and for putting lights to the right places, and adding some dust and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So everything looks very moody and
Hmm.
perfectly done for Halloween. And
Yes.
yeah, our release date was shortly before Halloween, so 8 days before. And of course, until Halloween, we sold many of the many copies of the game. So this was really exciting for us, and much work for me actually, because I had so many. I think I never had so many key requests, and
Hmm.
it was quite a crazy time. But yeah, it paid out actually. And one thing I wanted to say is that the idea of the game was actually that the developer, he's from France actually, he was searching for a game that was like the older third-person games, like Kazoo and whatever. And if he as he didn't find anything on Steam, and he searched long, and he didn't find anything that really suits him, he thought, okay, then let me try to do my own game. And he actually didn't know anything about programming, and he just
it gets better.
Yeah. And he just got Unreal, and then he started to program his own game, and it became great. So I'm really excited about what he's doing next. He actually don't want to do anything anymore with Pumpkin Jack, if possible, because he can't see it anymore now after a few years. But I'm really excited about what he's going to do next, and I hope he will stay with Headup, and we will have another success then. We will see.
Yeah, because I feel like when most people talk about, I'll make a retro aesthetic looking game, they think NES or SNES, like 16 or 8-bit graphics. But they don't think about there's a whole era, that PS1 N64 era of games, where that visual look, I think, still holds up. If it's like with the best resolution you can get on it. Like if you play those old games on the emulator today, they look phenomenal. And yeah, I think aside from, I want to say maybe A Hat in Time and Ukulele, which was a bit of a flop. That was like, oh, look how great we are. We're the best parts of Rare. Are you though?
Actually, I tried it. I didn't like it as well. So if I can say it here, but
no, you can totally
my kind of game.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same way. Like I was playing A Hat in Time. You did it better than the guys who made Banjo-Kazooie did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love how his approach was, I can't find what I'm looking for, like to play on Steam. And Steam has a lot of games. So if you can find the wildest shit. I mean, I took like a slight tangent. I took like a weird, like adults only rabbit hole lately, because I had some guests who made some adult only games, and there's a whole bunch. There's just, you can't even imagine what's out there, and you can't find a 3D platformer like in the old days says a lot. It's really lacking in gaming today. So I can see why, and it's become one of your most successful games by the reviews. I see you get so many reviews, and it's all positive scores. So like, congrats on that, and congrats to him for making such a phenomenal game.
Thank you very much. By the way, the game is right now, it received a winter update, or Xmas update 2 days ago. And it's now available for Steam, or for PC in general, Switch and Xbox One. So you can play it here with some Xmas themed extras, and a new custom where it snows around Jack if you run around, and and there's actually a discount right now on PC and Switch. So I think when this will send out here, will we send, it should be still active. So just have a look about it.
Well, you should tell Nicholas, who's a developer of Pumpkin Jack, he was trying to fill the void in our childhoods that we're missing today. Tell him that we need some more games like a Chrono Trigger or a Xenogears, if he just wants to get some ideas for his next project. Maybe some of that.
But I'm not sure if he will be the right guy for it, but we will check.
Hey, listen, he'll learn. He'll learn.
Absolutely, he learns all the time. So it started with nothing.
So speaking of just unexpected like success stories and just things that do really well on Steam, Bridge Constructor Portal was another one that many of us thought we wouldn't see Portal again ever in the game, because Valve can't count to 3. And then when we did see it, it was like the most unlikely of collaborations between Bridge Constructor
and
Portal, and again became one of your biggest successes on Steam.
Actually,
and elsewhere.
My boss had the idea, so he was meeting with the Bridge Constructor guys one day, and they're
Mm-hmm.
sitting and drinking some beer or whatever, I don't know. And then they thought about what can we do, and his quick idea was, oh, let's try Portal and Bridge Constructor and The Walking Dead. So
Oh, okay. So,
this was the start of that, and because he thought about what could be Bridge Constructor in the universe of Portal, because he likes Portal very much, actually.
mhm.
And yeah, and then they created a video, what is it?
Like a pitch video?
Yeah, a pitch
Mm-hmm.
video, like it could be look in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Like
and
a concept
they
video, basically,
a
for them
concept,
to, yeah.
right? And they sent it to Valve several times, actually. But as they are long-time developer partners from us, or partners for selling games, and we're working for years with them, one day they saw it and checked it, and they said, well, why not, shall we do that? And yeah, and then we started to really develop the game, so Bridge Constructor Portal. And when we put out the news that it will come actually 2 weeks before launch, it was really short.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was, what the fuck is going on? A new Portal game? What? as you already said. And everybody thought, okay, it's just a Bridge Constructor game, it can't be good.
Right.
But everybody wanted to try it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they tried it, and as you can see on Metacritic, the reviews weren't too bad, because the game was really great. And the combination of Portal and Bridge Constructor was just ingenious. So I'm really thankful for our boss that he
Yeah.
came with that idea. And
It sounds like whatever he says goes. He's like, I want to do a Portal and the Walking Dead. He's like your own little Cave Johnson. Make me a Portal and Bridge Constructor game. I want it now with the lemons.
Yeah, actually now it means 2 years later, or 3, actually, I don't know. But all those things take very much time to develop and to think about it and get everything right, and yeah, get rid of bugs and whatever.
Right. Oh yeah, what an
But,
idea. Getting rid of bugs. Yeah, that's something you should do
it
when
was
you're making a game.
it was a great idea, and it absolutely paid out. So we were very happy about this.
God, I can imagine him like sitting in his chair with a cigar, like, and that's why I'm the boss. This is why I'm in charge of you people.
No, not really.
I was like, what do I pay you for? All these ideas are mine. All these great ideas come from me. In your conversations with Valve, like, does anyone ask them, like, here's an idea, like, we love Portal so much, want to do a little collaboration between your IP and ours. Do you say to them, when are you going to make a next Portal game? Like, how do you resist not asking them, like, what are you doing? Like, Steam is great. Steam is very self-sufficient. It makes you money. When are you going to make games again? Yeah, Half-Life Alyx, but that's where to sell your VR stuff. Like, when are you going to give us, like, a Portal or a Left 4 Dead? Because now we have other developers taking up and doing it themselves, like with Back 4 Blood, which is revealed.
Yeah, I saw it. And actually, I thought it would be Left 4 Dead, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. But like, how do you resist not asking them, hey guys, like, thanks for letting us use your IP, but
perhaps they asked them. I
doing?
wasn't there, but I think they didn't get a reply on that, because they wouldn't tell, and they can't tell, I think, because otherwise we would know already.
Or is it like, all right, we got the Portal license, let's not piss them off, let's just take it and make our game, we'll make our money,
right.
And then after that deal is done, then we'll be like, get your asses in gear, guys, like, make us a Portal game. It's been too long.
Actually, they are still our selling partners, yeah, so
Okay.
we shouldn't be too.
Don't poke the bear too much. Yeah.
Right.
So that one's out now, and then we got not too long ago, last month, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Which again, it's like, okay, what else he's got? What are they gonna do next? Portal, Walking Dead.
Actually, I don't know. Let's see what we will think of, and let's try to get it done in a Bridge Constructor style. But I don't know, actually.
And what's the response been like so far for the Walking Dead meets Bridge Constructor game? Out now on
Yeah,
Steam.
um, it was a bit mixed actually. So not that well as Portal went, but
Mm,
in my opinion, it's still a great game, and especially for the Walking Dead fans, they should have a try and have a look, because
mm,
I think they absolutely will like it. And the puzzles are even more difficult, and there are more gameplay mechanics in it, since we had the last game. And for example, you can now control the guys, and have to think about uh, what they shall do. So they can walk a few meters to another point, and from there they can lob a grenade to the zombies, to the walkers there.
mm.
And yeah, you will get rid of many walkers in the game, so that's for sure. And you will crunch them by heavy objects and run them over with cars and whatever. So everybody who doesn't like walkers will be very fine in the game. Actually.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because I was over Halloween this year. I was glued to AMC to do a little horror movie marathon,
Hmm.
and every commercial break was just 5 different Walking Dead shows. And I was like, how many different shows are beyond Fear? I'm like, I'm just sick of it. Like, get out of my face. I don't want to see this shit no more. Like
Yeah,
another one.
there are many. There are many. I know.
What would, let's say you were sitting in the boss's chair
Hmm.
with the cigar in your mouth, and you were like, I want to put this in my Constructor game. What would you pick? What would your idea be? Be it a
I don't
movie
know.
franchise, a gaming franchise, or a TV show?
I would actually love to see another Time Splitters. Perhaps this would be a
Oh my
possibility.
God.
There were so
Oh,
many, so
Gregor.
many gadgets in there you could use.
Yes.
Perhaps that's a good idea. I will ask about it.
Yeah, we should ask about how was that remake or reboot that they've been doing for a bit. Didn't some team get the
Yeah,
rights,
but
or like they were trying to remaster some of the old games, or like, but
yeah,
not.
actually they. Oh no, it was Perfect Dark, right? That was announced right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Perfect
in
Dark came back. Yeah,
recently.
that was a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, right. But it's the same universe, if you like to say that. It goes in the same direction, at least. We played it back then at the same time, I think. And
Hmm.
first was Perfect Dark. I spent many weekends and hours on it, and days and years, perhaps. I don't know.
I mean, I would
And then
love
there
getting
was Time Splitters.
yeah, the X-ray gun in Perfect Dark made
Oh
multiplayer
yeah,
just
yeah,
so fun yet so miserable at the same
absolutely.
time. But I really hope, at least with the new Perfect Dark game, that it captures like the imagination of the gadgets,
Hmm.
like throwing a turret on a wall or stuff like that. Just because that game was all about that sci-fi aesthetic
Yeah,
and just and the tech.
yeah,
It
right.
was like let's take James Bond and put him like in the distant future with like really like tricked out
Yeah,
gadgets.
absolutely.
I hope that stays true. But yeah, Time Splitters. Oh
Hmm.
my god, talk about a game we need more of. We need that back in our lives desperately. I think that
Absolutely.
should be our reward for Corona. Just give us Time Splitters. That's what we need. All right, so let's look ahead a little bit into what's going down the pipeline for Headup Games.
Hmm.
Of course, you guys publish a lot of shit. Like I was going through your list, I was like, these guys have one been around for a long time, and then two, they have a fuck
Yeah,
ton of games in their catalog.
11. I think we are on the market for 11 years now,
Yeah.
and we have way over 200 games
Hmm.
released,
Oh my
be it
god.
on digital platforms or as a retail box in here in Germany.
Hmm.
For example, we had Limbo and The Binding of Isaac and
Hmm.
Frostpunk and Dead Cells. We had many of the good ones actually.
Yeah,
And
and speaking of Limbo, like one of your
mhm.
upcoming games looks a little bit like it.
Oh yeah, White
Um,
Shadows. Yeah.
which reminds you, when the show's over, I'm going to harass you
Hmm.
for Edmund McMillan's email address to get him on the
Absolutely.
show because
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Binding of Isaac, and
Hmm.
yeah, I gotta pick his brain for a little bit. So that's a future guest. right now, announced on the
Nice.
show. On the show, and if it doesn't happen, I will send you all Gregor's email address to harass him and say, "Why haven't you given Andy Edmund's email address yet? We want him on the show." So,
I have
White,
the direct contact, so perhaps.
yes. Listen, you can say, Edmund, these guys are great. Andy's hilarious. You'll love going on this show. I mean, you're not busy, right? You're not making the games. What are you working on? Just go on the show, talk about gross and goofy shit. It'll be a great time. It's 1 hour. Just one
I think
hour.
so.
Just 1 hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys been around for a long time. A lot of games. A lot of our favorites, like you mentioned, Limbo and Binding of Isaac.
Mhm.
White Shadows looks
Yes.
a lot like it's like a 2.5D Limbo inside kind of a deal going on.
Mhm.
Tell us about it, because I think today was the first time I ever saw it. Because I was like, gotta do research for the podcast, and it looks incredible. So tell me all about it.
Actually, it looks great. Unfortunately, I didn't play the last version, so the last one was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, the game is completely in black and white, or in
Mm-hmm.
gray, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So otherwise, it would be a bit crazy. And it's a modern fable, very distorted. Sorry, and it should be a mirror of our own world, being very sad, very crazy, but very funny as well.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, it shall be a meaningful game, so you will have fun just playing it and don't think about anything. But on the other hand, if you think about anything, you will see many. It's like a mirror of the real world,
Mm-hmm.
and with many critics about usual current things going on here, and they didn't know about Corona, but it's about the story is about what will happen after a big disease like Corona is,
Oh
and
wow.
of course in the game it's hopefully much more dark and bad as it will be in real life. But this is the foundation of the story in the game, and yeah, and you're playing as a little bird, and yeah, there are many what is it linearities to
Mm-hmm.
George Orwell's Animal Farm.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
there are the guys who tell everybody what to do by propaganda and
Yeah.
by lies and whatever. And most of the guys are doing what they say, but the little Raven girl, she's
Mm-hmm.
called, is breaking out of that line and yeah, wants to know what's going on there and wants to end all this shit because that's not what she wants to. It's not a world she wants to live in. Let's
Yeah,
put
it's
it like that
funny. I
because
got
it's pretty
like
hard.
watching the trailer, the
Mhm.
Gamescom trailer. I got like that Orwellian sort of like future vibe from it, like with like the big lettering, propaganda
Yeah.
on the in the backdrop there, and just that washed out gray, moody. It's like it's amazing how when you remove color from a game, it adds so much more depth to it. And you would
Yeah.
think when you remove detail, it's suddenly less than, but like it says so much about what the game is trying to convey to the player.
Hmm.
And yet there's still so much detail in the actual animations, the assets, and the graphics. And I think it says a lot how you what you can do with so little.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's a really big world actually. So you are just walking around in 2D like in Inside or in Limbo, but there are cinematics in it with the cameras going completely through a
Mm.
gigantic room and stuff like that. So everything's made in 3D, but you are just playing in 2D and mostly at least walking in one line and yeah, can jump and grab things like in Limbo and Inside. But if you know those games, you know how crazy things can get actually. And I'm expecting quite the same here with White Shadows, and I'm very sorry, and I'm very intrigued to see more of the game. So
And
I absolutely have to play the new
the
version
next
now.
build, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is specifically a next gen title. I think I just saw PS5, Series X, and PC. Not
Yeah,
for
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And perhaps afterwards we will see if it will make any sense anymore to put it to the last gen version.
Mhm.
But for now, it's aimed for those versions, and then we have to see how this will unfold, and if we will bring it to other platforms as well.
You know, that actually leads to an interesting thought I just had. Does the current like supply of next gen consoles, PS5, Series X, does that impact your decision making? Saying, all right, well, we know that it's a very tight supply and it's huge demand, and they're not going to
Yeah.
restock until I think UK it's sometime next year. They're not going to
Mhm.
get any more PS5s at least. You say, well, we can bring this game also to last gen consoles because that's
Yeah.
an audience with hundreds of millions of units that we can potentially make some sales off of. Or do we keep this optimized in the best possible way, built from the ground up for next gen? Just how do you balance those two
Yeah,
thoughts?
actually, it's not that often that we have such
That
times
problem?
where two that problem actually. We did bring our first games to next gen already. So
Mm-hmm.
Bridge Constructor: The Walking Dead
Mm-hmm.
also is out for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. PlayStation
Mm-hmm.
5 came I don't know 3 days ago, 4 days
Mm-hmm.
ago, not too long ago actually. And yeah, it's of course it's difficult when the new consoles were announced. There wasn't clear that there's such a small number of them.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, everybody went through them, of course,
Yeah.
because it's a new hardware. Ooh, we can do shiny stuff there. Um, but I think it won't be too hard to scale things a bit back to bring it to the last gen consoles as well. Or
Mm-hmm.
actually, they are nearly the current one, because the next gen is
Yeah.
not spread it too
Yeah,
much
I've
over
had
the
this
world.
conversation. I will point to you stop calling it next gen, and we'll point to you start calling it current gen because
Yeah.
it's only been about a month or so. Like, is it? This is now current gen? Yeah, sure. Why
Right.
not?
And there are so many guys who are still waiting for it. Here in Germany, we had a big problems with some of the shops here.
Mm-hmm.
So many people pre-ordered it when the announcement for the PS5, PS4, no, PS5 was done. And there are many guys I know actually that pre-ordered in time and directly after that announcement, but didn't get it until now, and
Mm-hmm.
won't get it this year anymore. So this is really hard for them, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this will be better in the future. Actually, I was very lucky. I have my PS5 at
I
home,
know. I feel like it's like
and I love it.
survivor's guilt. I feel like I shouldn't own one. It's like
Yeah,
so many people don't have it and can't get their hands on it. I'm like, I have
yeah,
it,
that's right.
and
I
it's like
I don't want to tell you, but I have it.
the worst part is Gregor is like, I don't think I deserve it. I'm an asshole and deserve good things.
Yeah, I think
uh,
we
speaking of
both did.
right, speaking of things I think I don't deserve, this next game, which looks amazing and it's too beautiful for my eyes to even describe, Aerial Knights Never Yield.
Hmm.
Um, the art style, the music. Tell us all about this game. What is it, and why should we all look forward to it when it comes out?
Yeah, it's a narrative 3D runner.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a story also about people who have more power than you, are doing bad things, and you have to change that actually. So in this case, it's Detroit, and the main character will find out some clues about the guys from the government are doing shit, and then the first thing he's doing is running away from them, and it will be what is it called, a runner game, yeah, and completely in line with the music and the sound, and it's made by a guy from Detroit again, and it is, let me check, sorry, it's Neil Jones, also called as Aerial Knight, because that's the reason for the game is called Aerial Knights Never Yield, actually. And yeah, he's an 3D artist, and tries to get many things implemented in the game from roots with from people of color, which I find very interesting. And yeah, that's roughly the game, I think.
Yeah, just, you know, we don't see a lot of games like this anymore, like games like Vector or Cannibal, like those type of games. And again, like the first thing, the art style gets you, and then when that jazz music kind of sets in, it's like it all just marries together so perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I'm
it's
like, something new we never saw before, I think, or at least not often. And now it's a good combination of just running, avoiding obstacles, jumping, and get in a flow there, and listen to the great music.
Yeah, it's like a little
at the same time.
Mirror's Edge, like parkour stuff going on in that trailer. And I was watching and I was like, who the hell is Aerial Knight? Why does he get a game? Like, why can't we do? If I had a game, I would call it like Andy Asimakis's Always Surrender. Like,
actually, when the release will come closer, you should ask him for being another guest in your show, because he's a really fun guy.
I love it.
I talked to him a few times and saw him in other podcasts, and had much fun just watching him. So
you know, this is actually a lesson I should take notes for myself and for Steve when he comes back on the show next week. Reach out to publishers more, because they know developers who can just be like, hey, go on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're telling you to go on this podcast. Because it's like, I usually look for developers, you know, their Twitter, their contact information, but like, idiot, just go to a big time publisher and see what they're working on. It's like, yeah, we have like 20 games we're working on. Cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's like 20 shows booked, done, finished. I'm just a marketing arm for Headup Games.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Oh boy.
He's a really cool one.
All right. I will definitely keep that in mind. So I think we're getting to the point in the show where we've learned a lot about your work, the games you've worked on, the games you're working on. But I think it's time we learn more about you and what makes you tick as a human being. And this is my favorite part of the show for many reasons. That's right. It is time for rapid fire questions.
Yes. I'm pretty
yes, I'm sure you are. Now, the first thing I want to ask you is, again, we're going to dive into this. You guys currently have on your website a PS5 giveaway going on. So a little bit of a brag there, because I have one, plus I'm giving one away. That's how many we have. So my first question is, can I have it? And I will definitely not put it on eBay and sell it for $2,000.
Well, I don't think so, because if it's a giveaway, we should give it away to the one who will get it. And
right. And I think before we get into the rapid fire questions proper, you should mention to our listeners how they can enter for a chance to win this PS5 on your website right now. So tell us.
Actually, I have to check myself.
This is PR, folks. PR manager.
But PR is not a community. We have another dedicated community manager. You should ask him.
So throw that guy under the bus. It's his fault. All right. So while you get that information, we can, at the end of the show, mention that we'll tie
And
things in a nice little bow. So
it's
while
our
you,
website, are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it says on the top. I'm looking at it right now. It says we're giving away a PS5. Enter giveaway.
Is it headupgames.com? I don't think so. Because I'm quite surprised right
Oh,
now.
that could be an ad I'm reading. That's on your website.
Ah, but we shouldn't actually have ads on our website as well. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's discuss this
All
afterwards.
right. I'll send you a screen cap and you'd be like, what the fuck's that doing there?
You won't get it.
So bottom line is what I'm really asking is you're not going to give me a PS5. That's what I really want to ask you. And the answer is no. Great. Get off my show.
Right.
Moving
Yeah.
on.
Sorry about it.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. We're very like enthusiastic. Yes.
Yeah, I like pizza with some fruits and whatever on it. On ananas, for example. I love it.
Yeah.
So why not pineapple?
I think we should let the record show that Gregor is not giving me a PS5. Plus, he likes pineapple on pizza. He is now the worst guest ever on this show. For now, more than one reason. The next question: would you rather have the power of flight or invisibility?
Ability.
Okay, now I like you a little bit more. You're my kind of guy now. What word best describes you when you're drunk?
Funny.
Oh, I like. Oh, it's a good question. Like, are you asking me that? Okay. Is it
Loud,
you
perhaps?
think you're funny? Your perception is I'm so funny when I'm drunk. It's like, God, get the bottle out of Gregor. And also, listeners, he's drinking right now on the show. He has a beer as we speak.
No, not really. Let me. Yeah,
yeah, perhaps. What's a body part that you wouldn't mind losing?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. My small finger. I need my other fingers for playing. Actually,
Yeah, I almost lost my thumb the other day. So there's that. There's that going on. Yeah, I lopped off a chunk of it while I was trying to peel a potato, like a big dumb idiot
but not
person.
too much. I hope.
No, there's a small chunk. It's still. I preserved it.
You can just play.
You're right. I can't.
That's
it's not
important.
now. I'm like a mouse and keyboard boy. Now I'm like I've evolved. Like I can't do controllers for like a week or so. It just hurts. This hurts too much.
Yeah.
All right. So, which is more preferable, being nice or being fair?
Nice, I think.
Well, speaking about me and my dumb, and not really. Speaking about me and my dumb thumb injury, what's the dumbest way you've ever injured yourself?
There are many things. I think the dumbest was I jumped in a swimming pool with my arms on my back.
Okay.
And dived until the ground, and then I crashed hardly on my head.
Oh my God!
I don't know why I did that, and it was quite deep, so I think 3 meters or so. But nevertheless, I just jumped there and crashed on the ground.
Oh
and
my
came
God!
Up and just thought, oh God, are my legs are still going, or are they gone now? Do I feel anything there? And
wiggle your big toe. That's all you have to do.
There was blood right away running out of my head, and my girlfriend back then was totally. She was thinking my color of my hair was going out because she colored my hair a day before.
Oh
said,
my God!
Your color is going off. And I said, no, it's blood. I need help.
That's a really bad dye job. No, I'm bleeding to death. Get a bandage. Get a towel. So yeah, this is actually we can springboard off this in a manner of speaking. What is worse to see in a pool, blood or piss?
It's both not good.
Like if you see
answer would be shit, but
you see a cloud of red or a cloud of yellow, which one do you prefer if you had a choice? You want to see a cloud of brown? That's option number 3.
I would dive through both, I think. But worst would be piss, I think. I don't know.
Oh my God. All right, so you go with the blood for sure. Go with the blood. Would you rather invent something new or discover something new?
I think inventing is much more cool and successful in terms of getting money out of it. So inventing would be greater.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out of your mind. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it depends, because some guy, we're told, invented Corona in a lab, so there's that. You could be that guy,
okay.
or like you made the atom bomb. I invented, atomic bombs.
No, not that a good idea.
What's the most ridiculous thing someone has tricked you into believing?
I don't know. A girl who cheated on me and I didn't know it for a month, perhaps. I don't know. Can't tell that.
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
don't have any ideas.
That's fine. Is it okay to sleep with socks on?
For me, not. No. But if someone likes it, like my girlfriend, she shall be okay with that. So, but I can't sleep when I have something on my feet. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm the same way. It feels weird. Would you rather have your skin change color based on your emotions, or have tattoos appear all over your body that would depict exactly what you did the day before?
I would like the color, I think.
Yeah. Because at least you can get away
It
with
would be
some.
bored most day.
Right. They could be like, oh shit, Gregor's bored again. I can tell by his skin color.
Or busy, or too busy.
Or it's like if your girlfriend asks, do you love me? Oh, I do. Then why is your skin not that right color it should be? You're lying to me. I know. Your skin is purple. What was your last thought before going to bed last night? Was it
Perhaps your
was it take these socks off?
Perhaps I thought about this actually, about this interview, because I hate interviews actually. But
really you're natural, unless I'm the person that's bringing out your natural
Yeah, it's getting better. It's
right.
Actually getting better, but usually
I like to instill
really
confidence in
nervous.
people because
that's perfect.
I'm a train wreck. So if I can make someone else confident, that's fine. I'm all about that.
I think it was about did I put off all my alarms on my smartphone, because that's very important on a weekend actually.
Like even right now, I think my phone, my ringer is on high, and I'm like, let's get through the interview without the phone going off, and we'll see what happens. Who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
It's a long time ago. Woody Woodpecker.
Oh, that's a great one. That's really good. I love it. So we got Time Splitters in this interview and Woody Woodpecker. This is now one of my favorite shows, easily. What do you think people notice the most about you?
That's critical to talk about someone by yourself. I think most of the people I get to know think I'm a nice guy, and that's I'm really proud of. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
perhaps he's drunk again.
God, every day is Oktoberfest for Gregor.
Yeah, no, not really. Shouldn't be so good. But actually, most of our guys in our company like to drink beer very much. So everybody who knows guys from Headup knows us with a bottle of beer in our hand at every trade fair.
Excluding, of course, Time Splitters. If you were able to publish or to get the publishing rights to a new game, a game that's been a long dormant franchise, which franchise would that be that you would like to publish and work on and do PR for, of course?
That's really difficult. There are too many good games for thinking about other ones, actually. Perhaps GoldenEye, so it goes in the same direction, but there were GoldenEye games recently and they weren't good. A new Command & Conquer for consoles, perhaps. There's
okay.
no RTS games on console, really.
Yeah.
That would
That's
be
true.
quite intriguing for me, I
Hmm.
think. I'm a total console guy, I have to admit, and don't play on
Yeah,
PC.
you
Otherwise, I
know,
would
see,
play many of those games, but I don't.
yeah. You know, that's a good we can mention. Like, did you see that the Hitman developer now, IO, is doing a James Bond game?
Hmm.
That's actually pretty. That's like the perfect coupling. Like, if you're
Yeah,
gonna pick someone to work on a 007 game,
yeah.
let it be those guys. I am so excited about that one.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see how that works out. And I think the last question I want to ask you before we wrap up for today, Grigor, is what advice would you give to the current PR manager of CD Projekt Red?
Actually, I know
besides,
him, at least the
besides,
German one.
oh, you know him.
Yeah, I think I know him.
Besides, put down the knife. It's gonna be okay. What would you tell him?
Keep calm, but I think he's very professional, so he is very calm, no matter what comes. Um, kick your development team and show good results. I don't know. I can't tell actually, but we talked about it already, and I think they are doing a good job despite all the bugs they have.
Yeah.
So this will be a success nevertheless.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think the success sales wise, that was always a guarantee for them. It's just now
I,
you have to ride this storm out more or less. And
Absolutely.
quickly. And
I
quickly.
really hope that they won't get in any dispute with Sony now and will quit the PS4 and PS5 versions in the future. That would be
Right.
really bad for me, actually. I think for
Yeah,
many other guys
that
as
is
well.
not a smart move to make if they're considering
Yeah.
that. It's just
So
that's a massive chunk of your audience that you can't turn your back on.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They shall just go through it and stand it and bring some good news in the next future. I think that's what they should they have to do.
All right.
There's no other chance actually.
And then give me his email address when we're done here so I can talk to him and lay into him for like an hour and a half. All right. That brings us to the end of the Dual Screens podcast. We have one more left for the year. We're almost done. This is so exciting. There's no break for us, though. I don't know what I'm excited about because I'm going to go into next week, into next year, but who gives a shit? But thank you for listening. Thank you, Gregor. You've been an amazing guest, very insightful. Yeah, you're a lot like me in my job. You're like the backbone because without the cheerleaders and the marketing team to really get the word out, it's hard to make a game successful because it's like you need to sell it and you're fighting for so much space.
And it's getting harder every day.
It is every single day. But you guys have been around for a long time. We're around for a lot much longer.
Yeah.
So where can we follow Headup Games and all of your upcoming releases? Give us all the PR spiel, the Twitter handles, the Discords, the Facebooks, Instagrams. Give us all that right now.
I think you can find everything with just Headup Games in one word on Twitter and on YouTube, for example. Then we have, of course, a website called headupgames.com. And I think you can find our our Discord server on Twitter as well. Not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. Or at least on our website and at the very bottom of the site. And I think that's actually most. I think we're on Instagram as well. Should be Headup Games as well. If you search for us, you will find us definitely.
All right. And also, correction, they are not giving away a PS5. That's just my big dumb brain. I just saw an ad and I was like, shit, asking about the PS5. Well, thank you, Gregor. It's been a blast talking to you. Yeah, it's been amazing as always. You were great. All of your words were understandable.
I hope so.
I don't know what you were so worried about. This won't be the last time we speak on this show because now once you come on the first time, it's like the cherry's been popped, and we'll bring you back at some point in the new year. I look forward to it. But in the meantime, listeners, stay tuned to dualscreens.com for more exciting interviews just like this one. And I'll let Steven handle the whole housekeeping stuff. I'm worn out. So with that, take care. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Andy, for an awesome interview. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Remember, folks, if you want to support us on Patreon, you could do so by going to patreon.com/NDS podcast, just like our two Patreon producers, Colton the Apprentice Nestler and FNH Paul. We cannot continue to grow without all of your support, so please head over there, and for as little as $1, you get a bonus episode every month in which you can vote the topic, and you get into our VIP Discord channel. Follow us on social media. We are at duel_screens on Twitter and at NDS podcast on Instagram. I am at Batchild27. Andy is at Pants Guy, and of course, our guest told you where you could find them and all that fun stuff. If you want to be a part of the show, you can email us feedback@ndspodcast.com, or of course you could just join our Discord and ask us questions there in the mailbag, or you can tweet at us at the aforementioned page and all that stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We have just hit 400 subscribers right before the show has gone up, and we are super excited about that. So if you could push us to 500, that would be amazing. Thank you so much, and don't forget, as always, please be excellent to each other.